Hey, hot people, it's Nanika and Sari here of Just One Hot Mom, bringing you that fire, that heat, all things saucy around your neighborhood and around the world. I just want to say hello to everybody and welcome to Just One Hot Mom, the podcast. If you're tuning in today, we're going to be talking about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, which is mental health awareness. And if you follow the blog, you know that a couple weeks ago, my daughter started her own blog. My oldest daughter, Simone, started her own blog, and she gets on there. She talks about mental health awareness and dealing with her own anxiety and how she is feeling pressure to try to be normal. And so I want to talk about like what is normal in our society, because I pride myself on not being normal. I don't want to be confined to a box where people say, Nikki, you're doing the normal thing. Like, I know I'm not normal, and being abnormal to me is who I am. And so I want her to embrace who she is and not be normal. But I also want to respect the fact that she has this issue with anxiety and bring attention to it and awareness to it, that anxiety is real. A lot of our children are having issues with it, and we're not addressing it according to their needs. Now, let me give you a little background story. My daughter discovered her anxiety when I was going through the process of divorcing her father, and her father has been diagnosed with a mental illness. So we discover during our marriage that he has a mental illness. And we work on it. We go through the process of going to therapy together. And it comes to a point in time, and I know like people are like so upset at me when I say this. Like, I was like, I could not stand when this man came home. It was a lot to deal with. Like, people don't understand. It's a lot to deal with somebody else's issues when you're trying to deal with your own issues. And so I would hear his truck pull up in the driveway, and I would be dreading the moment that his key was going to hit the lock and come into the house. It was a sad reality for me. And so I went with him and we got help. And it was when he was getting help that he said that he didn't want to change. And so, people are like, oh, but you're supposed to stick through your marriage for sickness and in health, for better or for worse, until death do you part. And what I tell people this, and please, if you're listening, is that sometimes it could be the death of your own mental state. Death comes in many forms. And so I felt like that I was dying in my own mental state. And it was a matter of I needed to rescue myself, or I was going to die. Like, I was going to die. And so I had a conversation with him. I picked up the kids and we left. And I filed for a divorce. And I mean, everything didn't go smooth. Like, the story is, it went on. It took me 7 years to get a divorce. And so, but in the midst of this, I saw my daughter struggle with her anxiety. And I didn't know really at the time that it was anxiety. You think like kids, she's a teenager, so she's going through this. Like, teenagers are such jerks. We all know it. Like, they're jerks. And you're thinking, though, like, she's going through this phase of life where she's a teenager. She's discovering herself. She wants to push the boundaries, not push the boundaries. And so I'm like, this little girl is working my nerves. Like, everything she does, I'm like, why is she being so rebellious? And then I remember we were in Walmart, and we're walking through Walmart, and she grabbed my hand so tight. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, stop playing in the store. I'm like, you play too much. And I looked at her face, and she was completely flushed. And I saw tears welling up in her eyes. So I just immediately stood there and I held her. And I'm like, okay, you got to tell me what's going on so that I know what. I said, did somebody say something to you? Did somebody touch you? What is going on with you that, what I'm saying, like, you're about to cry in Walmart? And let me be honest, I want to cry in Walmart sometimes. Like, I am not a fan. Walmart, it's because you suck. No, I'm just kidding. It's because, like, the store is so crowded and the people in Walmart, like, it's just crazy. Like, Walmart drives me crazy. Like, I just get a headache every time I have to go in there. I'm going to find a Walmart that doesn't give me a headache. But right now, so we're in Walmart. And she is like stressing. So I finally get her out and we get to the car, and she explains to me that she's been experiencing these attacks, and she doesn't know why she's experiencing these attacks, but it's bothering her and she wants to talk to someone. She wants to get some help. And see, she recognized that she needed some help. Sometimes that's the first step, is them recognizing that they need some help. And so I took her and I got some help, and she's learning to cope with and deal with her anxiety. And so people Come to was like, well, she's just anxious because she's just worried. And yes, worrying can be a disease, especially when you let it, when it overtakes your mind and you can't deal with it. And so we make excuses, I think, sometimes, like, oh, she just worried, like she'll get over it, like you just need to take a nap. Like I remember, and I felt so bad. That was my big thing with her. Like, you just need to lay down, rest your mind, and relax. But it got to a point where laying down, taking a nap, was not making anything any better. And so that's when I discovered she needed professional help. And so we get her professional help and she's doing better, but she still has this issue where she doesn't want people to label her as having a mental illness. Because in today's society, if there's something mentally wrong with you, people look at you sideways. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like cancer, you get a diagnosis, there's a treatment for it, you can go into remission, you can get it back, like you can cure it. Whereas we haven't defined where we can cure a mental illness. And so, and we really haven't defined all types of mental illness. You know what I'm saying? We have this big, broad labels of certain mental illnesses. And so, but there's no cure for it. And so I think when people can't see a tangible cure for something, they tend to not believe that it actually exists. And I'm a living witness that mental illness actually does exist. And it exists, people, guess what? Within the African American community. I find that is one community where people are so reluctant to want to say that someone has an issue. Like, you know, your cousin from down the way that can get a little quirky sometimes, and people, we just set them in the back room at the family functions. Like, don't go back there messing with someone. So y'all know something wrong with them. But has anybody went in that back room and had a conversation with so-and-so to find out what's really going on? Has anybody taken the time to go back and talk to so-and-so and say, how can we help you? What it is that you need to be able to function in your day-to-day life? Because let me tell you, these mental illnesses can really overtake every aspect of your life. Just imagine if you could not eat, if you could not sleep, if you couldn't have a conversation with another person because in your mind, your thoughts have overcome every aspect of your life. That's devastating. Like, I'm serious. Imagine if I could not eat. I am a foodie through and through. I love food. So I'm just imagining if something had overtaken my mind to where I could not eat, I would be devastated. So I watched my daughter go through this, and I'm like, you know, we as parents, we don't want to admit when we're wrong. But I had to admit to myself that I was wrong and not, you know, taking the time to recognize that she was having an issue. To blame it on puberty, to blame it on not being able to get along with her peers, to blame it on she's just upset about the divorce, or to blame it on her father, to take it and blame it on all these other aspects without really recognizing that she may have an issue that needs to be addressed. And I may not be the person to address it. We want to solve, I'm a mom, I want to solve your problem, I want to get it going because I want you to be successful. But this was an issue that I could not solve for her. And so it was a matter of me checking my own pride and saying, my baby needs some help. Let me figure out the best way to help her and what tools I need to get her the help that she needs and the help that she deserves. Because at the end of the day, as her parent, I want to see her prosper. I want to see her be calm. I want to see her live a life of victory. How can I help her get to that life of victory? So she made this video. You can go on my blog, www.justoneHotMom, and it's called IAmMental. And we've had it hashtag everywhere, IAmMental. And you can view her video on there. She talks about her anxiety and growing up with a parent that has mental illness. It's a great video, and I'm so proud of her for being able to speak up and tell her truth and to be so transparent in what she's going through. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break right now, and I'll be back where we'll discuss some more mental health issues and how we can help those in our society that are suffering with them. So stay tuned.
Check amongst them a little